storms got our attention a couple hours ago, but it's the heat that will have us wrapped up all the way through the upcoming weekend. We'll see just how hot it's going to get. Karen?
All right, Ben. Also, first at 4, changing the marijuana laws in Michigan, what it could mean for people already convicted of crimes. Critics are furious over chance of send her back at this rally for President Trump. Today, the president says he'll do something differently if it happens again. Paula.
We did a story on these kids 3 years ago when they started this coffee roasting venture. Wait until you see what they are doing with this business now.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. At this hour, we are tracking the combination of thunderstorms and dangerous heat in Metro Detroit. Local 4 and clickondetroit.com have the information that you need to stay safe. But let's first get to Ben Bailey for some quickly changing conditions. Ben, what's this about?
Yeah, Karen, we had a severe thunderstorm warning up for Washtenaw County, and even though we don't like to see rough stuff as far as the storms go, that actually knocked temperatures down a little bit across the area. The last of those storms is now exiting the east side. We don't have any warnings, but there's some heavy rain there right along the lake shore as it moves to the east. Once those exit, we should be done with the storms for tonight, and then we'll start turning our attention to tomorrow. But here are the current temperatures. We're down to 78 at Metro. Monroe's down to 76, but you can see back here, numbers are already starting to come back up into the 80s, and we're still at 91 in Mount Clemens. Heat index readings here where we have not seen those storms, mid to upper 90s, and of course it gets a lot worse this weekend. Excessive heat warnings started today. This is the highest level of warning that the Weather Service puts out for heat, and this is just about everybody. Sanilac is under a heat advisory, expecting slightly cooler temperatures there, but still enough that you got to pay attention. Air quality alert has actually been extended through Friday because of ground level ozone. We'll look at those heat index readings that are all triple digits coming up in just a few minutes, Karen.
All right, the dangerous heat will be sticking around for at least 2 more days. So right now we have that excessive heat warning in effect. Today is also an ozone action day. Cooling centers have opened across the area. We're keeping a list of locations at clickondetroit.com. DTE has all hands on deck for any outages and urges you to do what you can to conserve energy.
We want everybody to be comfortable, but be aware and do smart tips, keeping their blinds closed, running the ceiling fans, and those kind of practices.
Don't forget, we'll have a list of cooling centers plus other weather safety information on clickondetroit.com. Breaking into the Local 4 studio, this is the man arrested for hurting a 1-year-old who now shows signs of shaken baby syndrome. We just got this mugshot of Luke Sementelli, who's charged with 3 counts of child abuse. He's accused of pushing his girlfriend's 1-year-old onto the floor multiple times, then violently shaking him. Bond is set at $250,000. It happened at the Brighton Cove Apartments off Grand River. The baby is in the hospital right now. The child's family tells us he is showing some signs of improvement. Calling it a clean slate, a Detroit state representative wants to expunge all marijuana-related convictions now that the drug is legalized. State Representative Isaac Robinson is introducing new legislation that would expunge marijuana convictions, including felonies. The bill would allow convicted prisoners to be released. Robinson says those convicted of marijuana crimes shouldn't live with the punishment for doing something that is no longer illegal.
These people were convicted in a different time. And society has evolved. They have a better understanding of what marijuana is, the benefits of marijuana, and we can't leave these people behind. It would be horrible to leave these people behind.
Tonight at 5:30, we're going to take a closer look at the proposal and also get some reaction to the idea. Make sure to join us then. Hundreds of Highland Park residents braving the heat today as they lined up for water filters in the first step of dealing with possible high levels of lead. Residents are also urged to get their homes tested for lead as soon as possible. This comes as a recent round of tests showed elevated lead levels in some of the city's homes. The city is also providing other information, including helping families to get children under the age of 6 tested for possible lead exposure. There's no bail for wealthy businessman Jeffrey Epstein. Today, a federal judge ruled Epstein will stay behind bars while facing sex trafficking charges involving young girls. His attorneys argue Epstein has been a lawful citizen since serving time in an earlier case and offered $77 million in bail. Prosecutors say he's a flight risk and might tamper with witnesses. Epstein has pleaded not guilty. President Trump is trying to distance himself from a chant that erupted at his campaign rally last night. Supporters in North Carolina yelled, "Send her back," referring to Democratic Congressman Ilhan Omar. Devin Scillian in the newsroom with new comments from the president and reaction from the Congresswoman. Devin.
Well, Karen, Trump supporters began chanting as the president continues his attack on the 4 Democratic Congresswomen, all of whom are minorities. Here's what it sounded like last night.
Omar has a history of launching vicious anti-Semitic screeds.
Send her back. This all started Sunday when the president tweeted about the group of progressives known as the Squad, telling them to go back from whence they came. At the rally last night, he accused them of being hate-filled extremists. That chant garnered swift condemnation, though, from not only Democrats but Republicans as well. And when pressed about it this afternoon, the president blamed his supporters.
Loud. I disagree with it, by the way, but it was quite a chant, and I felt a little bit badly about it. But I will say this, I did, and I started speaking very quickly, but it started up rather fast, as you probably noticed.
I want to remind people that this is what this president and his supporters have turned our country, that is supposed to be a country where we allow democratic debate and dissent to take place.
The president also said he would try to stop the chants should they happen again, though certainly we remember "Lock Her Up" as a rallying cry against Hillary Clinton in 2016 that went on and on and on at many rallies. Also important to note that Omar is a U.S. citizen. She's a Somali refugee who moved to the U.S. when she was 12 years old. Karen, back to you.
No doubt we'll be hearing much more on this. Thank you, Devin. See you at 5.
All righty.
First at 4, we are tracking stories that are making headlines all around the world this Thursday. So let's start in Kyoto, Japan, where 33 people died in a fire. Police say that fire was set on purpose. It happened inside an animation studio. Investigators say a man in his 40s was screaming, "You die," as he burst into the offices spraying a flammable liquid. 36 more people are injured. The man's motive not clear. He did not work at the studio. The suspect is injured and in the hospital. Iran now admits that its Revolutionary Guard has seized a foreign oil tanker. It claims the ship was smuggling more than 250,000 gallons of Iranian fuel out of the country. Late today, President Trump says a U.S. warship destroyed an Iranian drone in the Strait of Hormuz as tensions keep rising in the Persian Gulf. Here at home, business is booming for local students who started their own coffee business before they were even old enough to vote. We introduced you to the Beans to Bags coffee roasting company 3 years ago, and you won't believe what's happened since then. Paula Tutman is in Auburn Hills with a success story that's boosting the whole community.
I think the most incredible thing is I remember these kids when I did the original story. You may remember it too. About 3 years ago when they were roasting about a pound of coffee at a time in a little toaster oven. But take a look at this operation now, including the machinery. Where's the time gone? It has flown, and on the wings of that time, progress. Remember these adorable students at Avondale High School in 2016 when they decided to start a Beans to Bag coffee roasting company to raise money to help less fortunate fellow students? Well, those students graduated this year and have passed the batons to their siblings and other underclassmen who continue to grow the Beans to Bags brand, and in a big way. And the sales numbers, they are impressive.
From our first year when we had that little roaster, we had 8,000 that year. Going from year 1 to year 2, we actually grew 100%. We doubled it.
So impressive, they've grown in just 3 years from their tabletop toaster oven as a coffee roaster and portable grinder, a pound at a time, to commercial equipment permanently affixed in the high school kitchen and working through the summer just to fill orders.
This year we're looking to get up to 60 pounds a week on average, which would get us to almost 40,000.
Their hands literally touch every step of the process, from roasting to packing.
We'll go to family table down here right by the high school, you know, and that's our, we see our coffee getting served to all their customers, and it's awesome.
Personally, I've always had trouble with speaking in a big crowd, and I've improved by presenting to companies.
Julio is a roaster. a coffee whisperer.
I don't really see anything. I just hear like the sound of the cracking when the bean gets to that stage.
He's honed his talents to hear when the coffee flavor is at max in the roaster. He's basically trained himself to hear the taste.
It's starting to pop a little bit. Do you hear the pop? Yeah, it's doing it right now.
Seeing how much I can do as just like a 16-year-old is kind of amazing, right? Because like you would never guess that this is something that most kids would do.
Yeah, okay, so check this out. The expansion continues because they're looking for a few good freshmen and sophomores in the Avondale system to join them. They're also looking at acquiring more commercial equipment and even eyeing potential store space. And get this, I just want to kind of put a finer point on these entrepreneurs, and that is the operation director. As soon as he finished roasting, he had to leave quickly because he had to go to driver's training. Karen?
Puts it all in perspective. What a great group of young people. We appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Well, still ahead, astronaut versus YouTube star. New survey shows what American kids want to be when they grow up. You have to hear the results, even if you don't like them. Also, the story of the stolen ice cream truck and a determined thief. Taking this truck was just the beginning. Up first, people have been going nuts for the new Face app. Well, now security concerns have reached the 2020 presidential race. We'll have that story right after the break.